Hey everybody, welcome into another Q&A. I'm Daniel Tercey, and I'm actually seated right next to one of our VPs over here at Directed IRA, Lindsay Mersino.
Hey everybody.
And as I mentioned, we're going to be doing another Q&A. We are going to keep this thing as long as you guys would like or as short as you guys would like, all right? So keep the questions coming. Make sure that you add the questions in the Q&A chat, not the general chat, okay? We'll be pulling the questions from the Q&A chat. I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping and let you guys know of a few things that are going to be coming up. Just to start off, make sure you guys know to save the dates, okay? We have our Self-Directed IRA Summit coming up. April 17th of this year. It will be 100% virtual. And I don't know, maybe some of you that are in the chat right now that are not clients but are looking to have a reason to join, you will get a free session of the Self-Directed IRA Summit if you sign up as one of our clients. And moving forward in October 22nd through the 23rd, we will have the Alternative Asset Summit, which will be live in Costa Mesa. Okay. And for anybody who's interested in learning about any of this, please, at the end of this, you can book a call with either your current representative or with a new representative, and they'll be able to fill you in on anything else. Do you have anything you might want to add, Lindsay?
No, we can't wait to see you there, though, guys. I've been part of these events for the last few years, and they just get better and better every single year. And I know I'm going to kind of jump the gun just a little bit, but one of the most common FAQs that we get on a regular basis is, how do I find an investment? How do I find people to do private lending with? How do I find others that are already doing deals that I could do deals alongside with them with my self-directed retirement account? This is where you want to be. Even with the virtual events, you're going to have tons of networking opportunities. And then with the Alternative Asset Summit, that's going to be live. At each of these events, we almost always end up seeing somebody signing documents and contracts for different investments that they find all on their own within the crowd and within the network that's there and present. So if you're not sure where to find investments, make sure you're there.
This is our best way that we can get you guys all into one room, bumping shoulders, saying hi, shaking hands, and hopefully finding some investments for your IRAs. Just one more thing, the virtual event, this is going to be great for anybody who is new or old. And then for our live one, this is going to be great for all of our current clients because this is where you literally can find deals. So both of them are going to be great in their respective avenues. So with that being said, I know we have some people on there. I'll go just so you guys can see our names on there really fast. But I know we have some questions coming in, so we'll start fielding questions. And one last time, this is going to go as long or as short as you guys make it. So if you have questions, ask away. And if you don't, we'll just end it short. But I know we have some questions coming in, so go ahead, Lindsay.
Yes. So we already have a couple that are on the queue here. I'm going to ask this first one from Pete. This one's for you, Daniel. Pete asks, if I take money out of a self-directed IRA account, can I put it back within 60 days?
Yes. So that is referred to an indirect rollover. Okay, so you'll hear two different types of rollovers in this space, and this is a safe space. So I'm gonna sound kind of like, for lack of a better word, a smartass. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys exact terminology for these. So if you are looking to move your funds from one custodian to another, you don't have to be scared by the second language they're speaking to you. Okay, so what you're asking about, Pete, is an indirect rollover. You can do one of these per 12 calendar months. Okay, it is kind of scary. Your custodian that you're at will be like, oh, well, if you don't do it, you're going to have to pay taxes and all, and it's going to seem scary. It is not. Just follow the rules, okay? When you receive the check and you go and deposit it, your 60 days starts then, okay? You have 60 days to get that money back into another qualified retirement account. Preferably, you probably want to stay in whatever account it came from. If it came from a traditional, put it back into a traditional. If it came from a Roth, put it back into a Roth. But there is some wiggle room. You can be doing a few different things, like maybe you want to do a Roth conversion, where you take that traditional IRA, you pay the taxes on it, and you move it into a Roth account. You can do things like that. Okay, but just know that if you moved money out of an account, you have 60 days from receipt. And how you prove that,
Oh, that's a fun one. Constructive receipt. So
Yes.
I'll actually go into a rabbit hole here
please.
while we've got the time. So when it comes to that 60-day rollover, Pete, the short answer is yes, most likely. Now, I don't know your situation though. Daniel and I don't know. Have you already done an indirect rollover and leveraged this
point.
60-day window within the last 12 months? Not just the tax year, okay? It's a rolling 12 months like Daniel mentioned. So the answer is yes, Pete, as long as you have not done it previously. Now, with constructive receipt, we have this kind of comes up a lot in our world.
Yes.
People will say, somebody mailed me a check and it was received a month ago or what have you. I haven't done anything with it, or I got it 2 months ago and they're at day 58 of 60. A lot of times, those individuals, they haven't cashed the check, and so there really is no proof that you've had constructive receipt and that you've actually received the check, unless, of course, it's trackable mail, which, yes, very much so able to confirm. But if it's just through USPS first class mail, there's no tracking ability. So the other institution can say they delivered it 50 days ago, but you may not have actually received it. So a lot of people will just say, hey, didn't get that check, go ahead and reissue it. That kind of restarts the clock if they have not deposited it. Now, if you're dealing with ACHs or wires as your IRA distribution that you're trying to roll over, those are extremely clear and concrete as far as when you actually received those. So that 60-day timeline just kicks off when you get the wire or ACH. But thanks for your question, Pete. Okay, we've got quite a few more coming in. Let's see here. So somebody is inquiring about the backdoor and mega backdoor. We will try to get to that one, Felipe, closer to the end. Please hang on to that in your back pocket. The mega backdoor method, just to give you guys a quick 10-second overview, it's a really creative way for you to get more and more money into a tax-free position to grow tax-free. It's for individuals that typically have already maxed out all of their savings otherwise. So it's not necessarily for the masses. So we'll hold on to that one, Felipe, in our back pocket, but thank you for that as well. Michael has a really great question. Michael is asking you, Daniel, can I invest in an S Corp that I have no relation to the owners with a self-directed IRA?
So you cannot invest in S Corps.
Correct.
And that isn't necessarily, a rule that is finely printed. It's a rule that literally you have to be a person in order to invest in an S Corp. And IRAs are not people. So no, you cannot invest in the S Corp. Now, if they were just a sole proprietor or a C Corp or something like that, and you want to give them money in return for something, you're going to draw up this contract, whatever it may be, shares, profit, something. That is totally doable, and we have direction of investment forms that can walk you right through that, and we have a stellar customer support team that would be able to assist you on those forms, and we have an amazing investment team that can also help you with that as well. But S Corps, big fat no-no.
All right. Thanks so much for answering that one. Yeah, S Corp is a no, one of the few no's that the IRS actually lists out for us. Next question. Wow, you guys are awesome. These are just rolling in. Get them in, guys, because the sooner you get the question in, the more likely we'll be able to answer it live.
Yeah.
So Tom is asking, whoa, I just got a bunch more questions and I lost it. Okay, Tom is asking, can you use a self-directed IRA to build a multi-dwelling property to build passive income stream? How would that work?
So, yes, you can do all of that. But it's going to be, you probably want an IRA LLC. Okay, so we'll talk about how to do it in an IRA really fast. And I'm going to make it seem kind of simple. It's going to be a little bit more complicated than this, in that you're going to need access to your funds very quickly. So let's talk about it in just an IRA. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to fill out a direction of investment form to purchase the land. Then you're going to have to go out, fill out a direction of investment form to pay the contractor or the construction company that's going to build the property on top of it. Then once the property's all done, let's just say that's all the contractor wanted was just that money, so you didn't have to do any other direction of investment forms. You will then have to find the tenants, and then they will be paying the IRA, okay? I made it sound pretty simple.
So the answer is yes, Tom, absolutely.
Yes.
It's easy as cake.
But I know real estate investors. I literally do educations with real estate investors across the entire country, okay? Real estate investors need money yesterday. It doesn't matter if they have a deal now, they need it now, okay? So an IRA LLC is going to be an LLC that is owned by the IRA. And as we all know, LLCs are pass-through entities, so they're going to take on the benefits of whatever owns the LLC, in this case an IRA. So you still get all the benefits of your tax-free investing, but you become the manager of that LLC bank account. And what that's going to do for you is give you ease of access to your money. Instead of filling out that direction of investment form, which, by the way, we move very fast, 24 to 48 hours with good paperwork, we're sending that money out for you. But like I said, real estate investors need money yesterday. So if you'd rather just write a check and get that over to the contractor, it's as good as money. It'll go right to that contractor. And when they come to you and they go, oops, we underestimated this, you can write another check. First of all, you probably want to negotiate with them and make sure they're not doing anything crazy. But then you can write them another check, and that money goes right to them from your bank account. So yes, you can do this. You're probably going to want to look at an IRA LLC, but it's a really good strategy, what you're doing. That's a really cool investment, and I think you're going to make a ton of money if you guys end up doing it.
Yeah, Tom, call us. Let us know how that pans out. We'd love to hear about your success or just how that goes overall as well. Thank you, Daniel. So we've got another good one that I think I'm going to take because I see a really special guest on today. Her name is Elizabeth Luna. She's one of our clients out in Texas. Hey, Liz, I see you on there. I did see that you also sent me an email yesterday, so I want to tackle your question since you just sent a fantabulous one in. And this one really goes in line with what Daniel was just talking about. So Elizabeth is asking, how do I go about getting checkbook writing features, pros and cons? So essentially what the question is how do I get that IRA LLC? Because for you, Liz, that's how you would get that checkbook writing ability. Here at Directed IRA, we can't just give you a checkbook for your IRA. I wish that would be so easy. We'd have like nothing to do all day. It'd be phenomenal. But we can't do that. So in order to get you that checkbook, all you need to do is have a professional set up your IRA LLC for you. Now you may be thinking, Lindsay, I just want to go to LegalZoom and I'll set up my LLC for $95 and we'll be on our way. You're welcome to attempt that. Unfortunately, there are some special clauses that have to be included within your LLC's operating agreement if we're going to be dealing with IRA dollars. One of those being, as an example, you are going to be listed as the manager of that LLC because you're going to write the write and sign the contracts. You're going to send the funds out to write checks, etc. So you're the manager. But one of the clauses that we look for in there, amongst about a dozen, is that manager, you are uncompensated. So you're doing all of the service for the LLC out of the goodness of your heart, and you're not being compensated for it. That's extremely important because your IRA cannot pay you. To give you an example, so you'll want to seek out an institution that understands IRA LLCs and can set up an IRA LLC for you. Coincidentally, we do work with KKOS Lawyers. KKOS Lawyers, we'll drop that link in the chat here in a second as well. But KKOS Lawyers, that is our CEO's law firm. They're a completely separate entity in business from us, but it's so nice to be able to leverage them for their legal advice and tax advice and investment advice. So they are in our back pocket for that. So you are welcome to engage them. You're welcome to reach out to us. We'll connect you with them when the time is right to kickstart that IRA LLC process. The only other thing that Liz specifically asked about was the pros and cons when it comes to having an IRA LLC versus not. One of the biggest benefits of having the IRA LLC is that it really gives you more control. So a lot of people that want that control over their money are already self-directing. So one of the pros of having the IRA LLC in place is that you have the control. What do I mean by control? You have the ability to write checks at any time. You have the ability to send wires out of the LLC's bank account at any time. You have the ability to go to lunch and sign an agreement with a private investor of any kind, maybe a private lender, maybe you're going to be investing into some other opportunity with somebody else. You can do all that right then and there. So you're welcome to utilize the IRA LLC and get some of those benefits. And those are just some of the reasons why people love it. And one of the other really big things that people use it for is real estate. So if you're owning real estate directly from your IRA, you have to buy the property, you have to send money out to fix the toilet, maybe do some painting, you have to collect rent, and there's a lot of in and out happening with a property if you have a rental or something like that. So in those instances, when you have a lot of in and out happening on a weekly or monthly basis, it sometimes just makes a lot more sense for you as the client to be able to control all of that. And then you don't have to submit the request and wait a day or two for us to take care of it. The power's in your hands and you can just knock it out right then and there. So that's another big benefit. It does give you that power and control. It also allows you to skip out on our transaction costs. So if you've got a bunch of those transactions happening, the IRA LLC may be super beneficial for you. The last thing I'll say about it is it also offers privacy. If you're using your IRA to buy a property, your IRA is going to be on the title. It's going to be on the deed. It's going to be on the purchase contract. Now, some people don't mind that the owner is public and listed on the deed as Directed Trust Company, FBO, Lindsay, Mersino, Roth IRA. Other people don't want anyone to know that it's the Roth IRA that owns it. Now, all they have to do is set up that IRA LLC, and now the LLC is the owner. The LLC is on deed. The LLC is the owner publicly for everybody to see. So just a couple of reasons as to why those are a little bit better. So Liz, we'd love to get you connected with KKOS, and you and I can chat about that later as well. Anything to add on IRA LLCs?
I would just say, it's primarily who I see using it are real estate investors. I do see some private money lenders doing it, but they're usually doing a few more than just like 1 or 2 a year. And private money lenders, for those of you out there, it's a very easy passive way to get your money invested. Most of the time when Lindsay brought up the $50 transaction fee, they just go, hey, borrower, you want $100,000? Another $50, and the borrower's happy to do it because they just got $100,000 free, and now they're investing in real estate with your money and giving you a sweet interest rate. So, real estate investors I typically see. Oh, and let's not forget about crypto. My crazy crypto people.
We love
you
them.
guys get these wild hairs, and you start opening up on different exchanges. IRA LLC is perfect for you.
Yes.
Okay, we do offer a crypto account that is great for beginners, especially new into crypto. But for my crazy crypto people, I used to be one. I promise you, I used to be one. Their IRA LLCs are the way to go.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for that. All right. We've got quite a few more questions coming in, so we'll just keep rolling. One of the most common frequently asked questions that we get that I see here is, can I use my current employer's 401k and self-direct it? Daniel, you want to take that?
No. I've been very wordy with everything else. That one's very simple.
Yes. So it's funny, though, because the answer is maybe.
Yeah, that is true. You're more than likely, most of the time, 90% of the time, it's probably going to be a no, and it might even be higher than that. And then the next question I get after that is always, well, how do I get to a self-directed IRA? Well, you quit your job.
Fake your death.
No, you have to have an old 401k because, again, about I'm going to go higher on this one, 95% of the time, you can't move that 401k from your current employer. And I always explain to people, you might be upset, but believe it or not, your 401k is an incentive to you by your company. Whether it feels like it or not, it is. They're doing matching contributions and they're doing cool things for you. So they usually want to keep it, and so does the custodian. So once you leave the company, you can roll that out into an IRA. And another question I get is, do I have to do all of my 401k or can I do partial? And the answer is you can do full or partial, okay? So don't feel like it's all or nothing. If you have an investment that you want to get into and it doesn't require all of your 401k, just bring over the amount that you need. And then you can leave the other one in the stock market, because as much as we preach alternative investing, true diversification is stock market, it's alternative assets, it's real estate, it's everything, okay? So, and we encourage investing and growing your future, and that's one of the ways. So yeah, partial rollover is totally fine too.
Absolutely. And you know what? Good news, though, guys. There are some exceptions on that 401k plan.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay.
We talked about this earlier. No, I'm just kidding.
Very absolute.
So the answer is likely no, right? But there are some exceptions. So listen up. If you're over 59 and a half, that 401k is yours. It doesn't matter if you're still employed or not. You can take that money and you can move it to a self-directed IRA anytime. It's your money. The second thing that you'll want to look for in your plan documents, which you probably have never seen those before, right? Your 401k plan documents.
People might not have even seen their plan documents.
Hypothetically, you might have to call the TPA, and that's the institution as to where your money's held for your 401k, and give them a call. Some of these exceptions might align with you, and you may have access to all that money to self-direct it right now, and you don't even know it. Some of those other exceptions, if you want to jot these down or reach out to us, and we can send you over these questions to ask the TPA. But the different options are sometimes within the plan documents, once you reach 55, you are able to start taking money out. That some companies don't make you wait until 59 and a half. So look for the rule about being 55 and being able to start withdrawals. The second thing that you may be able to do, and maybe in the plan documents themselves, are you may be eligible for in-service withdrawals. So that is the specific terminology: in-service withdrawal, in-service rollover. Look for those within your plan documents as well. That means that you are still in service to your employer and you're able to take money out of that 401k, roll it over into an IRA. So all is not lost, even though Daniel said no. There are still a couple of exceptions, and it doesn't hurt to call and ask. And the last thing we'll say is ask them, can I self-direct or invest in private investments with my 401k? And they may say yes. And if they do, that's where we can come into play and help you out with parsing out that piece for you and self-directing just a portion of your 401k.
Exactly.
Love it. Next common question that we get on a regular basis that I see popping up here is, can I self-direct my rollover IRA?
Well, yes. If you rolled it over to a custodian that allows you to self-direct, which you can probably self-direct at any custodian you're with, but there's caveats. Your custodian is going to be the decider in what you can actually invest in. Okay, I always tell my clients, you could self-direct at Fidelity and Schwab, but they're going to say you can self-direct right into stocks, bonds, and mutual funds because that's what they make their money on, right? Don't forget that. Fidelity and Schwab didn't get to be trillions of dollars giving away free things. They make money on these things. Then there are custodians like us that do alternative assets. Okay, those are things like real estate, cryptocurrency, undeveloped land, private money lending, pretty much everything else that the IRS allows you to do, you can do with a company like Directed IRA, including you can also do some stocks, bonds, and mutual funds with us as well. Okay, so don't think that that's completely off the table either. But most of the time people are coming over to us to self-direct into those alternative assets. And then to fully answer the question, your rollover IRA, you're probably looking maybe at a statement that says rollover IRA. That is just another way of saying IRA. I talk about this, and I'll let Lindsay elaborate on it, but I talk about this with my clients where I'm pretty much always going to just say IRA. Because to me, an IRA across the board is an IRA. They have different rules, traditionals and Roths and solo Ks and HSAs, but they're all qualified retirement plans. So if you see IRA, really what we're going to ask, and again, I'm going to let Lindsay elaborate on this, we're going to ask, is it pre-tax dollars or is it post-tax dollars? And that's going to dictate to us what account you have actually. And you can elaborate on the rollover IRA portion.
Yeah. So the rollover IRA, good news, it's always a traditional IRA because it's always pre-tax dollars. So why don't they just call it a traditional IRA? Well, great question. The reason they don't is because they're implying that this new traditional IRA that you just set up with that institution, whether that's a month, a year, 20 years ago, and that rollover IRA is going to receive a rollover from a 401k or other type of employer plan. So it's really just an indicator for that company to know, hey, this person did a rollover into this pre-tax traditional IRA. But yes, you can self-direct the rollover IRA. Just open up a traditional IRA here, and we can transfer that for you as many times as you'd like. So you can do all or some of it multiple times a year.
And that's transfers, not rollovers. Transfers can be sent to all over the place as many times as you want a year.
Yes, yes. All right. So somebody is actually asking more details about the IRA LLC. I see a lot of people asking about the IRA LLC. One of those questions is, can this IRA LLC that's set up be a general partner in a commercial real estate. They abbreviated it as CRE. I was like, CRE syndication. But they want to know if that IRA LLC can be a general partner in the commercial real estate syndication. So the answer there is yes. There is a way for you to do that. Please book a call with the team. We can walk you through step by step what that looks like and how to accomplish that. But the IRA LLC is essentially just taking place of your IRA, right? So anything that you can do with your IRA here with us, you're also able to do with the IRA LLC typically. So there's minimal restrictions there. We also have Deborah who is asking, why should I have an IRA LLC? Now, Deborah, we need more more details there.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I would definitely book a call with our team to make the determination for you step by step if you do need it or not. But just think about the types of investments that you're making. Are you going to be doing investments like one syndication per year? Are you going to be owning 1 or 2 rental properties in your IRA? Or are you going to be doing short-term lending multiple times a year? Now, in those instances and those examples with the syndication, I wouldn't really suggest it. It's not necessary for you to function. With a syndication, there's minimal transactions. Money goes out once, maybe twice if there is a capital call, and then money comes back in. Sometimes it's just interest at the end. Sometimes it's interest monthly or quarterly, but there's not a lot of in and out happening. And so doing the IRA LLC wouldn't necessarily be beneficial for an instance like that. But we do have some more advanced investors and clients that's all they do is syndications, and they do have an IRA LLC because they just want to do it all on their own. Because remember, that IRA LLC gives you the power over the checkbook. So that client can now sign contracts and send checks and wires all on their own without us. But is it required? Should they have an IRA LLC? You won't hear Daniel and I say that person should, but that's their style and that's their preference. So think about that one, Deborah. If you've got a lot of transactions happening, it may be really, really beneficial. If you have a real estate property outright, a rental of some kind, it's extremely beneficial. But yeah, book a call with us and then we can talk one-on-one and really go through your scenario to see if it makes sense for you.
And I want to elaborate. Lindsay briefly said it in the middle of all of that, which is if you have a lot of transactions, you don't have to just invest in real estate. You don't have to just invest in private money lending. Maybe you do real estate, private money lending, and crypto, and an IRA LLC is probably going to be your best bet for that as well too. So if you're doing lots of different investments, an IRA LLC is also good for you there too.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that. Thanks, Daniel. Okay, so Liz is asking again cons of. I'm sorry.
She's
I'm
just
so
taking
excited that she's
advantage
here.
of you.
I know. I'm just excited she's here. Hey, Liz. So she's also asking cons of check writing or anything else that we must be aware of when writing checks or additional reporting. So here's the honest truth, Liz, is when it comes to IRA LLCs, the control is on you, but the responsibility is also on you. So if you don't have the IRA LLC and all the transactions are happening here, we're monitoring every transaction. We're coding it for the right tax purpose on every transaction. We're doing the bookkeeping and allotting those different deposits and earnings on investments towards your investments. We're doing all of that for you. But if you cut us out and you replace us with the IRA LLC, now we'll still have your IRA here for you, but the LLC now allows you to do all of that on your own. So with great control, is that what you were going to say? That's
Yes.
so funny. With I don't remember the
With great
quote.
power comes great responsibility.
There we go. Yes, with great power comes great responsibility. So even though, yes, you now have that benefit and that privilege of being able to write checks and do everything by yourself, you are now responsible for bookkeeping. You are now responsible for making sure that any income or expenses are tied back to the right investment, since that's all happening on the LLC level and not directly with us. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a con per se, but some people might. If you're super duper busy and you don't have time to do bookkeeping, that sounds like a con to me. But if you've got 5 extra minutes to jot that down every month and make sure that you're on track with those, you'll be just fine.
Exactly.
Okay, let's look at some more. We've got quite a few still coming in, guys. Thanks so much for your efforts and your engagement.
One thing I didn't introduce early on, and you may see in the chat, is Michelle Rodriguez is also in there too. She might be answering your questions via text. So if you get a random person messaging you, I swear she's part of the team.
Yes, she's doing it on the Q&A too. So Michelle has been jumping in. I see her appointment link is there as well. So
Yes.
if you guys do have any questions, you're welcome to book with her. If you're looking to get started with a new account, if you're an existing client, feel free to call our main line. We'll assist you and step by step with any questions that you may have. And we've got our fabulous customer service team that's ready to assist you with any of those. But if you are somebody who is brand new and you're just thinking about getting in, but maybe you've got some analysis paralysis, book a call with our team, and that way we can customize that conversation directly to you. But thanks, Michelle, for your support in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Jennifer just asked, how can I set up a call with you? So Jennifer, if you look right above that message that you sent, there's a message from Michelle Rodriguez that says book a call with the team here. If you click on that link, you'll be able to set up a phone call with us anytime. So we'll definitely help you out. I know that you've got your 401k and it's on its way over. Also, you're looking like you're actually an existing client. So just call our main line and sorry about that. So it's, call our main line and we'll be able to assist you step by step with how to complete that rollover and get you going into your next investment. So that's awesome. Congrats. Sounds like you're well on your way, Jennifer. Okay, let's see. Ooh, so Jan wants to know a little bit more about the crypto you mentioned earlier. So Jan says, tell me more about using my LLC Roth to purchase crypto. How could I do this with a multi-sig wallet?
Okay. So you're getting into some details that I'm actually going to spare the audience for with the multi-sig, okay? By the way, the whole reason why I'm in the IRA space is because of Lindsay. She brought me in, and I was in a crypto IRA company, okay? I won't name any names, mainly because I won't name any names. But I'm a huge crypto dork, okay? And as I mentioned to everybody, if I was good at crypto, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd be on a beach sipping a Mai Tai and enjoying my life. But I've made a lot of dumb mistakes, which is great for you guys because now I know all the bad, dumb things. For your IRA LLC, we're going to keep out the multi-sig wallet. We're just going to focus on the term cold storage because I know a lot of you probably are familiar with the term cold storage. So, and that's a very easy Googleable thing. So if you want to set up your IRA LLC and start trading crypto, I lean more towards Gemini, Coinbase, and Kraken. That's not advice. You're not going to get any of that here, but the big three is what I call them, okay? They're all American-based. I think Gemini actually just went public. I trust them, okay? That's just my personal opinion. So you're going to call them up and you're going to set up on their exchange. You're going to set up an institutional account. And from there, you will be able to trade cryptocurrency. Now, you want to keep off their hot wallets for some more clickbait words. So you want to stay off of their hot wallets. You can use a cold storage in an IRA LLC. Now, for my crypto people that may be in the chat right now who just have a crypto IRA, you have to stay on the Gemini exchange, okay? And that's totally fine. I've made more money staying on exchanges than I have going off and being crazy, all right? But for the IRA LLC people, I always call you my crazy crypto people, you guys want to do all the crazy stuff. You want to stay off exchange. You want to go and invest in other areas and avenues. That's great. You can do that, but you first have to set up an institutional account with an exchange that will take it. Like I said, my preferences are Kraken, Gemini, Coinbase. But if you can find another exchange that'll take it, that's the beauty of an IRA LLC. It's entirely up to you. So wordy answer, which I feel like I'm good at, but do you have anything to add on? Because you also were in the crypto IRA space for a little bit too.
The only thing I'll say is I cannot believe how hard it is for some of these exchanges to do what Daniel's asking. If you call any of them or go online and try to establish an account using an LLC's name, it's very, very hard. You have to jump through a lot of hoops. They have a lot of red tape as far as approving those. We've even had people report to us that they've never been approved, even though there's no reason for them not be approved. And so when we heard all of that, our CEO, Matt Sorensen, he heard about this issue and he jumped right in with Gemini. So what him and Gemini have come up with is a fast track for all of you. So if you've got an LLC, an IRA LLC, and you want to do the crypto trading, please contact our team. We'll walk you through it step by step. Unfortunately, if you go straight to them, there's just so much red tape, but we've made it easy. We've gotten a shortcut for you. It's approved. Proof is in the pudding. These accounts get set up in less than a week. So if you have an IRA LLC and want to do the crypto exchange and you want that cold wallet, cold storage, we can certainly provide that to you as well.
Multi-sig is available. Just, I didn't want to talk about it. It's a little too much, but yes.
All right. Thank you. So Jan, yes, multi-sig is available.
Sorry.
No, that's great. I appreciate it. Okay. Next up. So this was a good one. Ivanka, I want to maybe ask you for some clarification on your question as well. Ivanka asks, What if you don't have a 401k? How do we set up a self-directed IRA as a partner in a business? I'm wondering if maybe you're confusing the 401k with the LLC that we had talked about earlier as being part of the general partner, the business. But if you do not have a 401k, that's totally fine. A lot of people don't, and that's normal. Some people have pensions or TSPs or nothing at all. Some people only have IRAs. But you could still, if you don't have a 401k, you can use your old IRA, transfer that over to us. And if you have no IRAs, no 401ks, no retirement money at all, you can still start an account and you can still make your deposits. Up until April 15th, you can make last year's contributions as well. So as of right now, this moment, you can dump in nearly 13,000, 14,000, 16,000.
What?
Do math really fast. 775. 14,500.
If we do my age range, below 50, 7,000 and 7,500, 14,500.
That's amazing. So as of this very moment, right now, you can do last year's contribution and this year's contribution. You can plug $14,500 into an IRA today, as long as you qualify and have earned income, and you could start investing immediately. So no excuses. Even if you don't have a 401k or IRA already, you can still absolutely jump in head first. We welcome you with open arms and walk you through that as well. Okay, let's see. So many questions. This is great, you guys. I'm so impressed. I know. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Karen has a good question. So Karen is asking, can you manage your own property in regards to payments, collections management, not physically hands-on?
Yes, that's a very good question. And yes, you can. And the key word you used was manage. You can use your brain for all of these things. I always tell people, if it wasn't for your brains and your thumbs, your IRA wouldn't need you, okay? Because you have to be able to sign things and you have to be able to find things, okay? And those are the most important things when it comes to IRAs and avoiding prohibited transactions. So I'll talk a little bit about prohibited transactions, which are things your IRA cannot do. Transacting with yourself, and you supplying services to the investment, okay? Now, the transacting with yourself, I simplified that. It's transacting with disqualified parties. Those disqualified parties are yourself, your spouse, your parents, your grandparents, your children, your grandchildren, and their spouses. I listed 7 people, okay? There are a gajillion other people in this world that you can transact with. Okay, that includes brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, friends, enemies, whomever you want, you can interact with as long as they aren't those first 7 that I listed. Okay, now for your question, yes, you can manage that yourself, but if you have a leaky faucet, do not go in there and put a piece of duct tape on it, okay? You are lending a service to your investment. And a number one question I get when I say that is, but Daniel, I'm making my investment better. Mm-hmm. And I respond with, will you come into my house and fix my leaky faucet for free? And they always say no. I haven't met a single friendly person since I've been asking that question. And the reason you won't is because you will not lend a $0 service to my investment, which means you can't lend it to yours, okay? Mm-hmm. So yes, you can find the people. You can collect the checks. You can do all the things with your brains, but you cannot lend brawn. You cannot swing a hammer. You cannot put a piece of duct tape on. Think I hit everything?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. If Lindsay doesn't add on, I know I did a good job.
It's every time I open my mouth, he's like, "Dang it!"
Yeah. As soon as she starts adding more stuff, I'm like, I should have said that.
Try to zip it up some more. That's fine.
This is 4 years experience. This is what, 100 now? What are we up to?
Oh, that was terrible. Almost 14. Wow, Nate's going to steal that one. Okay. Yes. So we've got some more questions. You did a fabulous job answering that, though. Luckily for you, I was actually researching a little bit on some other questions, so I missed some of it. So I think you did okay.
Okay, good.
We'll give it to him. All right. So one of the ones that I really love, we actually got this from an anonymous attendee. So I wonder if this anonymous attendee. There's
a lot of relatives of anonymous. They always come in.
Okay, love it, love it. So this Mr. Anonymous says, or Mrs., excuse me, says, can you please let us know if ERISA protections go away with a self-directed IRA, and would layering through an IRA LLC provide a better protection against any future lawsuits? This is a wonderful question, and also something that's commonly misunderstood in the retirement plan world. ERISA protections only apply to 401ks and employer plans. ERISA protections actually do not apply to the IRAs. whether it's self-directed or not. So whether you have a self-directed IRA here or you have an IRA at Fidelity, neither of those are protected under ERISA law. Those are meant, the ERISA protection is meant for 401ks, pensions, and things like that. Now, that doesn't mean that the IRA is totally exposed, though. So the good news is that there are some states, so it's state level with your IRA. Some states do provide some protection. Some states, the bankruptcy is also actually something that is one of the things that it's protected from up to a certain dollar amount. So you've got some things that it is protected from, but some things that it's not. So definitely check your state laws as far as how it applies to you when it comes to any types of lawsuits, because it's going to be different state by state. The only other thing that I'll say, though, is that the LLC, it does give you that protection. It's an LLC, right? So you're still going to limit that liability if you have an IRA LLC in place. But by default, that IRA does not have the ERISA protection. You are federally protected from bankruptcies with your IRAs up to a certain dollar amount.
And that's state by state.
And then the state by state is the pieces that vary if you're personally being sued and things like that. So no ERISA protection, federally protected from bankruptcy up to certain dollar amounts, and then sometimes under state laws, or often under state laws, it's protected case by case in different lawsuits.
And that's usually one that I keep in Matt's plate. I usually pawn those off to Matt. So again, this is what happens. 100 years experience here. Also, my favorite actually joke that Matt makes is OJ still has his retirement accounts. So there you go. There you get some layers of protection. Now, I'm going to leave it at that. Matt can elaborate on his joke. But just so you know, they are protected for certain things.
Well, that means that OJ must have had less than 1.7 million, because that's all that's protected in there. So if he's got them still.
Listen, I just repeat what Matt says.
All right, moving right along, guys. We've got lots more to go. Okay. Robert has 2 questions. Now, I haven't prefaced these or read them yet, so
but it's one per person, okay? So, Robert, quit trying to sneak extra in.
Robert, I'll give you a second. Don't tell him. Okay. All right, Robert, 2 questions he has. He says, I have been following your company for a while. Awesome. Thank you. Great information. He says, my wife and I built a 401k profit sharing plan while building an insurance agency. Does Directed IRA have a product I can transition it to? Your Directed IRA LLC sounds similar to what we have currently. I'm going to pause there. I'll take that one, Daniel. Don't worry. So what you are actually describing is totally different. So the 401k profit sharing plan, we would have a lot of questions for you, Robert. So is it just you and your spouse and just you and your wife that are participating in this plan? Do you have other employees that work for you that qualify or have been participating in this plan? And if so, are you looking to use that 401k profit sharing plan to self-direct in general, or are you looking to get into an IRA LLC? Because those are 2 very different things. So if the answer, Robert, is just you and your wife are participating in this 401k profit sharing plan, you have control over it, and you are more than welcome to say, hey, we want to self-direct this. You can either work with a plan provider that can amend your plan documents, so keep your current 401k profit sharing plan, have those plan documents amended by a pro. Unfortunately, that's not a service that we provide here, but we can definitely connect you with some people, Robert. Or you have the option of just doing a solo 401k if it's just you and your spouse. And in that event, my team and I will handle those plan documents for you here. So you've got lots of options, but the LLC add-on is an option for you once you're here, regardless of your account type, Robert. Second question that Robert has is, we only have mortgage notes in our current plan. How do I move our current investments to a new product? Another fabulous question, Robert. We help people move assets like this that are already invested. It's not cash, right? Maybe you've got it over with a competitor, or maybe you've got your assets held at a plan that's not at Directed IRA. If that's the case, the first step is to open up your account with us. The second step is to have a call with one of our specialized funding coordinators who's going to walk you through every single thing you need to know about re-registering that asset from your prior custodian over to us. It's just a couple pieces of paper, I promise. Once you're done with that paper and you essentially say, hey, this investment is no longer owned by my 401k and it's now owned by my IRA at Directed or my solo 401k at Directed, we can then log that asset into your account here. But we walk through that step by step with you as well. So Robert, please feel free to book a call with us. We can certainly do that and make sure that you're taken care of. So the answer is yes, you can do those things very easily. We can help you move all of that. It's just some changing of the paperwork saying, hey, this 401k is no longer involved, but this IRA now is essentially what it says. Next up, we've got Greg. Greg only put one question in, so thank you,
Greg. Thank you for following the rules.
Greg says, can my current IRA LLC loan money to another LLC that I am a partner for in real estate transactions?
Okay. I can always make things wordy. Yes and no. And I draw the line, and this is my own personal thing. Maybe Lindsay might give me a little more leeway. Mm-hmm. What percentage ownership of this other entity are you? Okay. Mm-hmm. What level of service are you providing this entity, if any? Okay. Those are two huge factors. I draw the line at 10% ownership. At that point, I say, please go speak to KKOS and see what they say. My go-to line is, I can give you all the information in the world. I will not defend you in court. Okay? That's where you need a lawyer, and KKOS lawyers will do that. Now, to go a little bit deeper, KKOS, I've heard, goes all the way up. They think they say like 49%. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to make that decision for you. But if you only own a small percentage of the company, yes, your IRA can invest in it. However, if you are interacting with that business and you are making decisions on behalf of the business, I would not advise. I would tell you to go over to KKOS lawyers and work that out with them. Mm-hmm. And I'll let Lindsay maybe elaborate.
I mean, really, in a nutshell, guys, if you're looking to use your IRA dollars to invest or engage with a company that you personally own, or maybe your spouse owns, or your parent or child owns, proceed with extra caution and seek legal advice. Yeah. We can't give legal advice, but like Daniel just described, there's a bit of a gray area when it comes to these different transactions. So some companies out there will say, hey, if you own less than 50%, your IRA can move forward with it. But there's just a lot of caveats to that. So we want to keep you safe. We want to keep us safe. We want to keep everybody safe. And so in order to do that, if you are looking to engage, just call up your attorney. Your professionals team should be able to assist you with navigating that, because the last thing you want to do is make a mistake and blow up your whole IRA. So we don't want that. Okay. Let's see. Tom's got another question. Sorry, Daniel. So Tom is asking.
Just one at a time. You can ask him one at a time.
Tom is asking, how does directed IRA help me handle the buying of precious metals and setting up storage in my IRA?
Ooh. Do we?
I got this.
Are we allowed to talk about certain things? We have things cooking in the background.
No.
No? All right. I'll let Lindsay answer because I don't want to slip up.
Yeah, we'll go live with what's a possibility right now.
Yes.
So Tom, the typical person that comes to us that wants to invest in precious metals of some kind, gold, silver, whatever, as long as it's of a certain purity and the IRS says it's okay, we say it's okay. But typically what will happen is clients come to us because they already have designated and identified their metals dealer. So you must go out and identify your own dealer. Once you identify your dealer and you negotiate pricing and what maybe it's the spot price for the day or whatever it happens to be, you'll have an invoice drawn up with them that says, hey, here's how much we're selling you the metals for. You send that to us. We send the money to them. But before we send the money out, you got to have those metals stored somewhere. So Tom, to your point there with the storage, yes, we take care of all of that for you. So you don't have to worry about any of it. We have a relationship with Delaware Depository. They have multiple locations across the United States, East Coast, West Coast, and Central.
Not just Delaware?
Not just Delaware, contrary to popular belief. But we've worked with Delaware Depository for quite some time, and they are one of the best in the industry that a lot of institutions work with for holding metals and such. And so that's who we leverage right now as well. And we facilitate the setup of the storage and the vault for you there. And that's because it has to be underneath our name. And so we just make sure that there's a particular portion of it slated just for you, Tom. But yes, we do all of that. So you will set up your IRA. You will find your precious metals dealer. You will decide on what metals you would like to purchase. You will negotiate that pricing. You will obtain the invoice and then get that over to us, and we'll take it from there, getting the money deployed and getting the metals into storage.
And we have more things coming as well.
Yes, and more to come. Daniel would like me to add. Okay, yes, more things coming, and that'll make this even better. Yeah. So stay tuned.
That's why I let Lindsay answer it. I didn't want to mess up.
Yes. All right. Next up, Robert, this is a great one. So Robert asks, This is a new Robert, by the way.
Okay.
Robert asks, what constitutes buying a property in a self-directed IRA? If I borrow all the money for purchase price, private money, not from a prohibited person, and perhaps pay $100 of the closing costs out of my self-directed IRA, and any maintenance costs will be paid from my self-directed IRA, does that qualify?
So can I read?
So in other words, he's making a purchase of
borrowing.
a property, but he's
Okay.
borrowing, let's call it 99% of the money.
Okay, yes. So you're borrowing, private money is a good example for this. Let's back up just a little bit and just talk about how IRAs can borrow money, because IRAs can't borrow money the way you and I can borrow money. Main reason, IRAs don't have credit. So if you're trying to go to Chase or somebody like that and get a mortgage, they're going to say, great, who's signing? And you're going to put your IRA on there and they're going to go, great, what's its credit score? It doesn't have one, okay? So what you need is access to private money or what's called a non-recourse loan. A loan that the bank cannot take action against the IRA, it takes action against the asset, okay? So it's an asset-backed loan. Now, if you want to set this up the way you just described, where you borrow 99% and put down 1%, sure, I don't know who's going to be doing that kind of a loan for you. But as long as it is a non-recourse loan, private money loans they're backed by mortgage, or they're backed by the real estate, you can do that as long as they're not disqualified parties. But again, I don't know who's going to be giving you a 99% loan.
Pretty sick. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yes.
But yeah, and you would pay for all the expenses and everything out of your IRA just the same exact way. But that loan portion, yes, you can easily do it. Now, I'm not going to get into this, but this is something you want to consider, which is called UBIT, unrelated business income taxes. And this is where your IRA can be taxed. And it's not your IRA necessarily, it's everything that's being borrowed on the side. So that 99% will have UBIT on it. I'm going to put that onto a CPA. I always do this with my real estate investors. Say, if you want to do this and you want to find out if your CPA is good, ask about UBIT and how they can offset it and do all those things. If they can't do it, I know that KKOS lawyers, while they're not going to do your taxes for you, they can do tax mitigation and help you out and assist with that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We've only got 8 minutes left of
Yes.
the scheduled session. We may end up going just slightly over if they let us. We may get the boot here. So we're going to do as many more questions as we possibly can, because you guys are just absolutely killing it with all of your questions. So thank you so much. Okay, let's see here. So we've got, this is a good one, Purvi. I'll take this one. So Purvi is asking, we have a 401k for our S Corp and they said they cannot do mega backdoor. Can you guys help? The answer is most likely we can. Now the key is, again, with that 401k that you have for your S Corp, is that 401k offered to just you? Is it you and your spouse? Is it you and your spouse and a bunch of employees? Is it just a bunch of employees that are participating in it? Those are the questions that you'll want to ask yourself before taking this next step. So number one, Purvi, you're welcome to send me an email as well. If I'll get you that in the chat here to make sure you've got it.
You got it.
Yeah, or Michelle, would you mind IMing that over to Purvi for me, Purvi Gandhi? One of the things that we want to check on is, so the number of participants and such, and then we'll want to look at, does this 401k allow you to just do a solo 401k instead? If it's just you or you and your spouse, I can help you with doing the solo 401k. But if those aren't options, like let's say maybe you've got 20 employees, 100 employees, and they're all participating in that 401k, in those instances, I can still connect you with a company that will actually be able to amend those plan documents for you. So we don't handle the multi-member, multi-employee types of plans here. We can still self-direct them though. So we do have companies that we work with that can allow your humongous 401k plan that you're a part of. So, you've got 10 employees, 50 employees, 1,000 employees. Those plans are allowed to be self-directed if the plan documents say so. And we have many companies that can help making those amendments to get you that into that mega backdoor Roth, Purvi. So absolutely, we can certainly take care of that for you. Okay, he has other employees. Awesome. So with the other employees, then yes, you will want to make sure, owners and employees. Perfect. So in that instance, I know exactly who I need to connect you with to make sure that we can get you self-directing with those funds as well. So yes, we'll get you connected with me, Purvi, and we'll talk soon. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay. So this one's for you, Daniel. So George is asking, will directed IRA consider coordinating a call where sponsors can present offerings to potential investors? It's coming up in April. It's almost here, actually. So we've got the Self-Directed IRA Summit. You're going to be able to be on live and virtually with people that may or may not have investments to offer. Same thing with the Alternative Asset Summit. There's a virtual option. So if you prefer to be online virtually, you're welcome to do that. But if you come to that event live, that's where you'll have everyone right in front of you, strictly educating about different asset classes. So that's something really important to remember for that event, George. We hope to see you at the Alternative Asset Summit or the Self-Directed IRA Summit. That's happening next month. But that will allow you to just learn more about these different companies that are out there that may have investments. We take a really indirect approach, as you can tell, though, George. I'm not going to tell you who to invest with or who to call or what investments, quote unquote, look good. That's above my pay grade. So I don't and cannot do that for you. But by being on those events and being part of those, you are welcome to then see all those different investment sponsors and different opportunities that are out there. So definitely join us there. Unfortunately, we don't currently facilitate specific phone calls that are private between asset sponsors and our clients. And that's, again, just because we don't sell investments. So we have to stay really neutral for you guys.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Joe asks, if I work closely with real estate operators as a manager/coordinator, how do I avoid the appearance of self-dealing if I lend from my self-directed IRA on one deal, but I'm still getting paid out for my services on separate deals?
So I'm gonna say out loud what I think is being asked, which is you're working with some real estate investors and you're maybe a maintenance person or a contractor or something, but then they sometimes come to you with deals. If you are working on 4 of their fix and flips and then they come to you and say, hey, I need some money for this 5th fix and flip, great. You can invest in that 5th fix and flip. That's a really hard one. And as long as your company and you stay away from the services being lent to it, which you're doing on the other 4 properties, you've distanced yourself. Just because you're working with somebody on other projects doesn't mean you can't invest in their other projects. It just means you cannot benefit directly from what you have invested in with your IRA. So hopefully that's what you were asking. I wanted to give the examples so that in case it wasn't, you can elaborate on it. But you can make as much money as you want with a bunch of fix and flippers and then lend out on the other ones. That's totally fine. In fact, I tell my real estate investors all the time, you want to figure out what deals to put into your IRA. All the deals that your back pocket can't invest in, your IRA should be investing in the other ones. So you could never have to say no.
Yeah. So, Joe, I think the key here, like Daniel just mentioned, like it's absolutely possible. You want to make sure you're not doing the work on certain things and then also funding the deal with your IRA, right? But absolutely possible if you're working on 4 deals with somebody and you're actually in there doing some of the work. If they say, hey, we've got this 5th that you have not worked on yet, do you want to invest in it? That's your ticket, right? Now, you specifically worded it in a way that I want to clarify a little bit more too for you, Joe. So he said, how do I avoid the appearance of self-dealing? So the appearance of self-dealing is only going to happen if you're on the contract and you're doing all the work as well. So as long as you are not written into those contracts and deals for the ones that you're providing services on as an individual, you should be fine. If you're dealing with a situation where there's like 10 different properties in one contract or deal of some kind, I don't know how you would avoid the appearance of self-dealing because that is self-dealing. So you'll want to just be careful on that. As long as they're all separate contracts, separate agreements, you're just fine.
And I would say if there's an appearance, you might be doing it. Okay, so just try and stay away from appearances. That's the best the information I could give.
Yep, absolutely. All right. We're going to get back to Felipe's question here in just a second. He did ask more about the mega backdoor Roth, so we'll touch on that really briefly. But before we do that, we do have lots of other ones that we wanted to make sure we hit. So let's just knock out one or two of these easier ones. Okay. Portion secondary. Okay, Sindhu asks, if we have to roll over a 401k to an IRA, does Directed take care of rolling it over, or should I be rolling it over? So Sindhu is asking in regards to 401ks, if they have an IRA here with us and they are rolling over 401k dollars, that movement of money has to be triggered by you as the client. Unfortunately, if I call your 401k and say, hey, send me the money for this person, they're going to say, no way, Jose, which is good. So that's on you, unfortunately, but the good news is that you still have us to help guide you. So book a phone call with one of our funding specialists. We'll walk through how to do the rollover process step by step, and then we'll go from there. Let's see.
And I
here.
believe in our transfer rollover buttons tab, we pre-populate some of that information, especially if you're with like one of the bigger guys, Fidelity, Schwab. We have some of that information already pre-populated for you as you're doing the rollover information.
Yes, absolutely. So that is still possible. Angel, how are we doing on time?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Do
perfect.
a couple more and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Okay.
Do you want to end on the mega backdoor, Roth?
Yeah, we can add that in just a little bit, just because
Okay.
again, it's a little bit more advanced and not
Yes.
going to be applicable to the masses.
Agreed.
But I still want to touch on it just a little bit to get some info out there for you guys. But as far as additional questions go, so I've got this one. I actually don't know how to answer this one because I'm not an LLC pro. Maybe you've got this one, Daniel. So Joe asks, can you use an IRA LLC as a holding LLC, meaning you essentially could invest in several syndications as one investment?
I mean, isn't that what they're already doing?
Essentially,
Yeah, so-
Joe, I'm not sure how to elaborate on this a little bit more for you, but an IRA LLC, I mean, technically it could be a holding LLC with a bunch of other IRA LLCs underneath it, if that's what you're
Are they
asking.
talking about series LLCs, which
Holding and series, I'm not sure if there's a
Okay.
really distinct difference.
Okay.
But so, hey, Joe, go ahead and book a call with us. We need to get some additional info from you to dive in a little bit further, make sure we're answering that correctly. But you are allowed to have your IRA LLC as a holding LLC.
and you can also invest in a ton of different investments with that IRA LLC as well. So
Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back up to Felipe's question here for just a quick moment. And that's the one in regards to,
did it go away?
there it is.
Others.
No. And that's in regards to the mega backdoor Roth. So once again, this is not applicable to the masses, guys. This is something that is really specific to high net income or high earners. So the question is just some info about it. So Felipe, we're going to just do a quick high level overview so that you can kind of get some of the highlights on it. But I would highly suggest booking a call with us. So again, one-on-one is just always better. So we can dive into it some more to make sure that you qualify for it and to make sure you actually need it as well, because not everybody does need it. But the mega backdoor Roth strategy is really just a way for high earners to move even more of money into a Roth account every single year. So a lot of people will leverage this by doing the solo 401k. And when they set up a solo 401k with us, they'll max out their contributions. They'll do everything that they possibly can and that they're eligible for. The only caveat, though, is that not a lot of people earn the max in order to contribute the max. And so it leaves you with this little gap that you can actually fill with after-tax money and get it into a Roth thereafter. So after you've maxed out your contributions, okay, so you've done everything that you possibly can into your 401k or solo 401k. Once you're done with that, then you can do the after-tax deposit as well, all the way up to that maximum total. I know this is very confusing. There are employee and employer contributions. There's limitations on both. We're not going to dive into it. Just know that once you've maxed out what you can and what you're eligible for, if you still have more to save up to the max aggregate of the 401ks, you can put that in as after tax potentially. Once you put that money into an after tax 401k or after tax solo 401k, you want to immediately convert it over to Roth. You can convert that to your solo K Roth, or you can convert that to your Roth IRA. So the mega backdoor Roth IRA implies that you're doing the after tax contribution to your 401k and then moving it into a Roth IRA. It's called mega because you're getting more into that Roth IRA than that measly 7,000 or 8,000 that you're allowed to do. So by adding a couple grand more, not even just a couple, it's 5 figures or more potentially, you now have even more Roth dollars than before. So Felipe, hopefully that answers some of your question there. I know that you had just said you'd like some info. So book a call with us and we can walk you through how to get that started and make sure you qualify for it as well. We don't want you to set up anything that you won't need. So we'll definitely do that with you and make sure we get you handled there. Okay, do we have time for one more?
I think we could do one more. Yeah, one more, and then we'll pull up the slides afterwards.
Okay, let's see. Okay, oh, Karen has a really funny question. We're going to end on this one. I like this one. I'm going to ask this one to you, Daniel. Karen asks, are there any loopholes to use a vacation property held in a self-directed IRA by yourself occasionally? Not the main purpose, but maybe an Airbnb. Is there any legal loophole to do that?
This one I like, and the reason why I like it is because I get people at all these real estate conferences, and they're like, the IRS taxes me to no end. Mm-hmm. I wish I didn't have to pay taxes. And then I come to them and I say, hey, how about a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA? And they go, great, I would love to do one of those. I don't want to pay any taxes. Can I also do the things that I'm told not to in them?
It's usually the first question.
So, short answer is no. You cannot do that. If you're interacting with your investment, you can't interact with your investment. That's just the number one rule. Now, when you become retirement age, hopefully this is in a Roth IRA, and you've paid no taxes, and you've been making so much money on it that you can just retire on all that money. And then you can do what's called an in-kind distribution. And you can take out that property, if it's in a Roth, tax-free. And then you can vacation in it and do whatever you want. And all the equity that you accrued tax-free, all that beautiful stuff can come right out. And then you have all that money that you've been accruing as well.
Yes.
So there are great benefits to doing this. Don't try and have your cake and eat it too.
Yes. If you are currently thinking of a loophole,
yes,
I can guarantee it's been closed by the IRS. They're really good at their job, unfortunately.
And also,
not really.
Don't ask your custodian to help you cheat the IRS.
Yes, unfortunately, we can't do that. That's called tax evasion, and we want to stay away from that. But Karen, the good news is once you do buy that property, if it's in your IRA, you can distribute it to yourself once you're in retirement age. And yes, you can enjoy it. We actually have a lot of people that do that. So people will literally purchase a property for like $200,000 or $300,000 in their Roth IRA. They'll rent it out for 10 years, 20 years, and then they retire. Yeah. Now they just distributed that property to themselves. They can now live in it because it's theirs, and they paid zero taxes on that property.
I think one of our owners is doing that.
Oh, yes, probably.
So it's a really lucrative thing, and if really, wildly popular CPA lawyers that own this company are doing it, it's probably a great thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. We've gone through quite a wide range of different questions. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and hopefully you're booking your phone calls as well.
Which, if you guys want, we can pull up our slides, and you guys can scan that beautiful QR code. You can be in touch with one of our account reps. I know Michelle has been putting her the link in the chat as well. So you can either click it through the chat, or you can scan that QR code right there, and you can book a call with one of our sales reps.
And if you are an existing client, feel free to reach out to us on our main line. We'll be able to help you with questions that we may need to clarify from today for you. But book those calls, guys. Don't get analysis paralysis. We're here to help pick our brains, and that's why Daniel and I love these Q&As as well.
It's my favorite time.
It literally allows us to just answer a bunch of stuff for you guys. So it's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys.